songs are really simple and really fun to play, and then they have some tricky things in them. Lola is one of those. So we're going to take a look at this classic Ray Davies tune from 1970 from the album Lola Versus Powerman and the Money Go Round. What we're going to do in this lesson, it's really just a strumming lesson. We're not going to do anything fancy in it. We're just going to play some chords. So all we really need to do to play this is have a good, steady understanding. Steady? Well, an understanding of keeping a strum steady. So that's what's really going to happen in here. So what we're going to do is just talk about the chords. Most of them are open. There's a few bar chords, so you do have to understand a little bit about bar chords when we play in a B and an F sharp. And what else? We have C sharp minors and G sharp minors. Mostly chords in the key of E, with a couple of exceptions. And so this is very typical of Ray Davies and kind of the Kinks sound, where he uses some chords that don't necessarily always fit in the same major key, but still they go together really well. So we'll take a look at the chords. We'll talk a little bit about strumming and the chart that comes with it. We're not even going to do any of this from tablature. No real need to, but we've got a chart that has the chords and the words if you want to sing it. In any case, let's talk a little bit about the chords and strumming. The chords we need are really basic. C, D, E, and A. That's it for the first section. And so we're just going to play those in standard open position. So hopefully you know those chords. If not, check out my lesson on strumming. But we've got a C chord, played in the standard position, D chord, played in the standard position, and E, and that's the sound of the signature riff. We'll talk a little bit about the strumming too in just a second. But we also are going to need a couple of bar chords, a few bar chords in the key of E. Now, the trickiest one of those is B for a lot of people. So playing the B chord, we need to do a full bar at the 2nd fret, and then your 3rd finger flattened out across the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings at the 4th fret. Basically an A shape of a bar chord. Now, if you can't play that very accurately that way, you can do it, of course, with 3 fingers, with your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th fingers, all on an individual string, or you can play all of the Bs at the 7th fret out of the E world of bars. So, taking a look at the chart, the introduction, very simple. Starts with a C chord. And that's our measure where we have an accent on 1 and 3, and that's it for that measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the next measure, we have 4/8 notes on the C. Down, up. We miss the next down and catch an up and a down on the D chord before we get to our E. Now, on the record, you hear a little arpeggio right there. He hits the E chord. And what's going on there is it's really just the top 3 strings being played at a steady speed of 8ths. This is if you're going to play this like this, you could either alternate down and up strokes even though we're going from the 1st to the 2nd to the 3rd string, or you could do it in what we call normal alternating picking, or you could use a cross picking pattern where you go up, down. The logic behind cross-picking is that what you're trying to do is you're picking it down or up depending on the next string. Let's run through a couple of these sections with a metronome. I've got it set at 100, which is a little slower than the recording. We'll do the introduction, first verse, then we'll go straight into the chorus, then we'll come back and do a half a verse. Now when we do that half a verse, we're going to be starting on the 3rd line of the verse before we go into the bridge. Then we'll go back and do another half a verse and call it a song. Here we go. 2, 3, 4.